Hello everyone, my name is Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going over what you'll need to succeed in Dauntless Trials moving forward in Dauntless. With the 1.5 update, we've actually seen quite the reduction in Slayer power, going from a maximum of 840 power, being 140 above the Dauntless Trial Behemoth, when you factor in the elemental advantage, to a preliminary power number of 540, which can be boosted through the Slayer's Path. There are other things on the Slayer's Path that will help you in Trials, and today's video will be going over the steps you'll need to make if you want to compete at a high level. And not all of this information will be necessary just to be able to beat the Trials in say under 3 minutes, but if you want to go for a top 100 or even top 10 times, this is what I recommend you bring with you. The first thing you'll want to have when playing Dauntless Trials is a weapon skill level of 20 on the weapon you're using. Since the weapon skill level is the main thing that affects your power in Dauntless Reforged, having it maxed out on your weapon before proceeding with Trials is recommended. The next thing you'll want to have is a power surged weapon, as this is the other main thing influencing your power. When power surged, your weapon will give you 120 power, and power is something we want to maximize so that we're not as far below the Trial Behemoth's power rating. With the 120 power from a power surged weapon, plus 20 power per weapon skill level, plus an additional 20 base power, we have a power rating of 540 base. And then you'll have an extra 96 elemental power if you have the elemental advantage over a behemoth. But as I said previously, the Slayer's Path contains other ways we can boost our power rating. So into the Slayer's Path we go, and whichever the weapons you want to play Trials with is going to need to have the bonuses found at the beginning of the path. These bonuses will give you plus 15 power on that individual weapon and a 2% base critical chance when you use that weapon. Each weapon requires a total of 3,300 combat merits to max these out, but it will help you gain that extra little advantage over all of your competitors, especially when you're going for the top 10 or so in times. I'd say if there's a particular weapon you enjoy more than others and you feel like you'd want to play that weapon in Trials, focus on that one first before spending combat merits elsewhere. For this video, we'll assume you already have all of the weapon specials and mods unlocked within the Slayer's Path, but if you don't, you'll need some of these for specific weapons. The next thing of relevance we'll need are Tonic Upgrades. You'll want to grab the first 4 upgrades for the Frenzy, Blitz, and Aether Drive tonics. At the 4th upgrade, you're granted a boost to your effect for each of the tonics, and for the 3rd upgrade will make your tonics last for a longer period of time. And these upgrades do stack additively when paired with Catalyst. And now that there's multiple sources of tonic durations and effectiveness changes, these changes are actually being displayed in the consumables menu when you're out on a hunt. And the interaction with Blitz Tonic and Catalyst did get revamped to provide you with 48% attack speed with Catalyst 6, then 55% attack speed with Catalyst 6 and this perk, where the max used to be 36%. And with the extended duration, even with the disadvantage in power if you're going for a top time, you're very likely to finish the behemoth off before your tonics run out. If you're into group trials, you'll want to grab the first 4 upgrades of the Inspiring Pylon as well. This is the only thing that will boost the effectiveness and duration of the Inspiring Pylon right now, moving to a 31.3% increase for 56 seconds. Additionally, there are circumstances that would call for the bonuses to the Assault, Insight, and Stamina tonics as well, but these would be a lower priority than those I've already mentioned unless you exclusively play the Warpike, in which case you will want to invest in the Insight and Stamina tonics, as depending on the trial and behemoth, a Stamina tonic can go a very long way for a Warpike. And the last thing we'll be looking at getting on the Slayer's Path for Trials specifically is the Reforging Upgrades. After reforging your weapon classes a few times, you'll gain additional bonuses to all of the weapons. The most important ones of these are going to be the Axe and Striker Reforging. After 10 reforges of Axe and Strikers, you'll gain 5% power on all weapons and 5% attack speed on all weapons. On the lower priority reforges, but the ones that can still make a difference in Trials is the Hammer's stagger damage and the Repeater's movement speed. Again, this wouldn't affect every single weapon in the same way, as Warpike players would want to grab pretty much everything but the extra stagger damage. But those would be the things on the Slayer's Path that would meaningfully affect the trial scene. Having extra HP or extra resistance can be a detriment in some of the cases. If you're going for top time, times, healing is not going to be something on your priority list, and consumables such as the Life Drain Tonic, Ironhide Pylon, and Healing Pylons are not really used if you're talking about top times. But how do we go about getting all of these things? How many merits do we need to be able to max out a particular weapon to be able to compete at the highest level that weapon can in Trials? Well, I've already mentioned, for each weapon you want to grab the additional power and critical chance for, it costs 3,300 combat merits. 1,650 exploration merits will be needed to max out each of the potions or pylons you need, meaning for a top trial run you'd need to have unlocked 3 of these, totaling 4,950 exploration merits. And then from there, all you need is the reforging of axe and strikers 10 times each, which will take a good bit of time to do, hence why we haven't seen too many people attempting to seriously contend in Trials right now. Captain Maelstrom recently did a speedrun of getting a weapon skill from level 1 to 20, which he did in about 4.5 hours with no bounties involved. So doing this 20 times would equate to around 90 hours of gameplay when playing optimally. One of the developers has indicated that there will be a maximum experience increase come the 1.5.1 update. Additionally, they're thinking about adding special event type things or something similar to our escalation boosts to give extra weapon experience. But before that time, if you're looking at unlocking all of the weapons and tonic upgrades I've mentioned should be the priority, you'll be waiting around a while. But if you're looking at doing this for every single weapon, then you are going to be in for some pain. To get the Slayer's Path unlocked for all of the weapons, you'll need 23,100 combat merits. To upgrade the Aether Drive, Assault, Blitz, Frenzy, and Insight tonics and Inspiring Pylons, you'll need 9,900 exploration merits. And to reforge Strikers, Axe, Hammer, and Repeaters each 10 times, this will take about 180 hours of optimal gameplay at the current experience rates. Not to mention that if you play Warpike, you'll probably want to grab all of the 10 times reforges. Since stamina consumption's a problem, you'll want that extra meter gain as well, and in many of the cases the wound damage will give you savagery sooner, which means that it would take around 310 hours without bounties grinding up all of the 10 times reforges. But that'd honestly be for a little bit of completionism mostly, but increase those merit numbers by a lot if you want to unlock everything on the Slayer's Path. There's no doubt that some of you out there will be determined to do it, but Dauntless did indeed get a new level of grind from the 1.5 update. But that is going to do it for this video today, and that's what you will need for high-level Trials competition going forward. Now, you can definitely do sub 3 Trials without doing any of this first, but as this update matures in the coming weeks, you are going to need this for top 10 times for sure, and possibly even top 100 times will rely on a lot of these unlocks from the Slayer's Path. But if you guys enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, and if you enjoy Dauntless content and you are not subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel where I post Dauntless content every week. I've been Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails, and I will catch you guys next time.